Congratulations to USC for winning the Maui Invitational this year. But man, I would be lying if I didn't say I really wish this meant more in the grand scheme of college basketball this year. The environment and everything like that is still the same. I just think we can objectively say it doesn't mean as much as it used to. And I don't think this is going to leave the same impact when we look back in March as it once did. And that's no shame on USC at all. They beat who was in front of them, and I really like their coach, Eric Musselman. And I had USC as a tournament team and much higher than a lot of other teams in the Big Ten preseason rankings. The highest rated team in this tournament was NC State, who was just barely in the top 25, who ended up losing to Seton Hall in the very first round, who was projected to finish last in the Big East. Now, I was definitely rooting for them to win it all after they won this game, and I think they're much better than we thought. They ended up proceeding to lose to USC, who ended up winning in a 2-point game with some calls that I think really favored them that shouldn't have, who was just coming off a triple overtime win against Troy and a 3-point win against Boise State, who lost to a Division II team. Texas was also a big team in this tournament, and they ended up losing in round 1 to Arizona State, who, similar to Seton Hall, was picked last in their conference, and credit to them, but they won off of a game-winning shot. And Texas has played 2 teams so far not in the 300s in rankings, and they've lost both of those games. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and when we look back on this tournament, there will be a lot of better teams than what we think they are right now, but I honestly really doubt it. I think the most likely thing is I really did like that Seton Hall and Arizona State are most likely maybe not going to be at the bottom of their conferences like we thought. But how much does that really have an impact on the total season, and how much does it have on an impact come March? I don't think it really has a lot. There are only 3 teams to win the Maui Invitational when being unranked, and one of them is 2010 UConn, who ended up being the literal national champion as an unranked team in the Maui Invitational, which you think would bode well for USC, but I think it doesn't. I just think it proves how the Maui Invitational used to be, where unranked teams like this could go in there and prove how good they are and beat all of these better teams on such a great stage. I think the Maui Invitational needs to have some kind of maybe bigger NIL pool next year, or some kind of incentive like that to make this tournament the star-studded, important in-season tournament that it once was.